Actually. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Tier 3 race, round 7 of the MRC Championship, live from Austria. We've already seen two fantastic races this week in Tier 1, Tier 2, and now it's turn of the Tier 3 drivers. Joining me tonight, first time in the comms box, so excited to introduce Mr. Night Shadow, Gav Jenkins. Good evening, welcome. Certainly is. Going across the border this time, going a bit more northern this time. I think the Southerners are going to be sick of us by the end of the season. But but it's great. New voice, new character in the commentary box, and hopefully first of many, so it's a pleasure to have you with us. Are you looking forward to this? Yeah, very much so. There are a few technical issues I may want to just point out to the viewers. We're getting ready for the stream to come live through YouTube so we can get the shared to our viewers through our Discord channel. But a few of the drivers reporting server issues for the Formula 1 game, so hopefully they will be resolved throughout. But we may see drivers drop in and out. Unfortunately, we'll have to be patient with that, but fingers crossed for them. As we're on board with man 5168 on his open lap in the McLaren, on his out lap. A few new drivers to talk about. We've had one or two drivers, actually only one driver as a reserve tonight, but a few new recruits. We've got Ofash stepping in on the Williams, Nightcash in the Alpha Tauri, and also Simba 151 as in the Williams as well. So I know he's done a few races so far, but it's nice to have a few new faces, and hopefully there'll be more of a permanent fixture in the Tier 3 grid for the rest of the season. So a few drivers out, starting on the medium tyres, getting a run early doors. We've got Fatch, Simba, Jacob Jones, our championship leader in the Mercedes. Very lucky win last week. I hate to say it against him, but he did run a very good race. But big commiserations for Dumas Hornet, who spun on the last corner, giving Jacob Jones the win. But he'll be out to have another strong qualifying session, and I'm sure Dumas Hornet will be back looking for, well, I could call it karma, really. It's not necessarily revenge, it's karma. Yeah, quite right. As we're on board with Jacob Jones starting his flying lap. We'll see how he starts getting on. Fortunately, not showing us the lap data. There we are. Get the lap data on board. These medium tyres may take a lap or so to warm up, as we've got a few drivers already finishing their first laps. 105.7, Tomo 222, and the Alpine takes the early pole position. 106, a second back for Brogan's, the highest of the medium tyre runners. So Fatch. Yeah, hopefully that isn't going to be a theme for him. He's had some very good races this season, and we hope he'll be back soon. As Jacob goes a little bit wide, tried to keep it off the curb. We don't want to invalidate the last corner. Does a 106.0, puts him, unfortunately, did actually invalidate that lap, as we've got Fatch on the medium tyres with a 104.8 to first lap. That's a fantastic lap time from him. Yeah, quite right. It's with the off-camber settings, it's easier just to let the car roll and overcook it slightly, and you just can't get the grip back. As we're riding on board with a Lollipop in the Alpha Tauri on the medium tyres. Oh, thank goodness Carl's back. That's good news. Yeah, drivers getting their first runs underway. Some may potentially save their tyres, as we've seen in the past. They'll save the tyres and do maybe just 2 runs and save some for the race. Yeah, quite right. Lollipop got a little bit sideways on turn 9, and unfortunately, as a 107.7 was a decent first lap on the mediums, but fortunately invalidated through that lap. So they'll be maybe doing a recharge, saving some fuel. Hopefully, they've got enough for 2 laps, and we'll go again. Jacob Jones is still out. He's going again on those medium tyres. Now he's going to bail on that and come back in. Booth, one of our drivers in the Haas is out on his out lap. Medium tyres again. Just a quick shout there, Gav. If you're on the stream on YouTube, it's up now, but my Discord isn't. If you wouldn't mind sharing it for me, please, bud. Brilliant. Thank you. As always, nice to have people to comment and leave your views. Show who you're supporting tonight. Obviously, we've got a wide range of drivers from different areas, so different backgrounds. So it'll be nice to leave your comments, ask us any questions. So there must be something in the settings. If you're into your broadcast settings, if anybody out there listening has a PlayStation 5 and could possibly point myself and Gav in the right direction for settings, that would be much appreciated. Well, it might be under the sharing settings. If you go into the party as well, it might be under there as well. If you allow to share your audio, could potentially be under there. As we're sticking on board with Boothie on the medium tyres. Very wide there. If he did back off, he may not have invalidated, but he's going to see if he's going to complete the lap. Another corner where it's very, very easy to run wide. He's going to continue his lap. Hopefully he didn't invalidate it, so he goes very wide through the last corner. That looks like an invalidation. He did a 106.1. He didn't. He gets it on the board. 106.1 puts him in 12th for now. He's going to run through the field, see who's on a fast lap. We've got Carl Eden's less than a 1/10 of a second down on this run. You can easily make that up in the last 2 corners. Just doesn't want to overcook it though. Nice sharp turn in there. Looks like the front's really planted on that Aston Martin. Runs a little bit wide. See if he hopefully gets away with it. Crosses the line on a 1:05.6 and puts it in 6th place. Really gained in that last sector. So Carter looked a lot better hooked up on that lap. Really good show from Carter. Had a good few results this season. Hopefully, Gav, you've got that sorted now. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. We've got that convertible who popped up into 2nd place at 1:05.1. 3/10 back from Fatch there on the soft tyres. Still Fatch with a 1:04.8 on those mediums. I think Rob sent you a link there, Gav. I'm going to jump on board with Dumas Hornet, second in the championship. He put in the fight out there. No problem. Dumas Hornet there with fastest lap so far, 104.7, only half a tenth less than that ahead of Ofat, but he's done it on the soft tyres. Dumas Hornet 10 points further back from Jacob Jones, who is on a fast lap at the moment. Coming into the last two turns, takes a bit of curb into turn 9. See if he keeps it clean into turn 10. How's he getting on with this lap? He does it 106.4. This puts him into 15th at the moment. He does have time to get back in and maybe swap on another set of those softs. Championship leader, as I say, 10 points ahead of the gentleman currently in provisional pole position. Only 3 rounds left after this as well. And that will then conclude the first season, I should say, of F1 2021. So right on board with Simba. Mark Dennison in the Williams, 2/10 up at the moment on this lap. Joyful Hell has retired. Possible spin. It's easy to catch some of the inside curbs in that middle sector, and it will spin the car as Simba runs a little bit wide. Hopefully he didn't. He did not invalidate. Puts him up to 9th with a 105.5. It's getting a little bit close in that midfield. We've got 3 people now, 3rd, 4th, Dak Convertible, Nico Lack, and Fanning on a 105.1. And then Red Car, good lap to put him into 6th so far from him on a 105.3, and then a few drivers, a 105.4 for Connor, 105.4 for Dirty Harry, 105.5 for Simba and Tomo, and Carl on a 105.6 along with Nightcast. So, all to play for at the moment. I'm sure the drivers will be looking to get out again for a last run. 1/10, half a tenth gained could really jump you back up the standings. The drivers further down, like Boothie, who did the first run on his medium tyres. We'll see what he goes back out on. We'll run on board, see if he's going to stay out on the mediums, do another lap on them. Or is he going to swap to the red wall soft tyres? Nope, he's staying on the mediums, deciding that is the best course of action for him. So a few of the drivers in the pits getting ready to do their next lap. We've got Nico Lack doing his quick lap now, getting out there early while the track's quiet. 10th down so far through sector 1. And 3/10 in sector 2. Might want to back off and go again. Still going for it. Good bit of curb on the outside of 9. Good bit on as well through the last corner. Catapults off. Did gain 2/10 in that last sector. Unfortunately, 0.17 down on his previous best. Stays 4th. Still time for the charge. Dak Convertible with his outlap. Currently 3rd. 4/10 off Dumas Hornet. Let's see, who do we have on outlaps at the moment? Red Car Rambo. Ryan is on an outlap, another set of those soft tyres. Connor as well, just keeping well out the way. Gravel's not really the place you want to be though. Don't want to get the dirt on the tyres.
I think, Mark, I may be online now. Rob, thank you for that saying. I found a share your voice setting buried
brilliant.
buried in the settings.
Oh, fingers crossed. That's it now, and everyone can hear the two of us. As Nico Lack has put in now, provisional pole, the 104.767, getting very tight now. All these drivers within a couple of tenths of each other. We've got Connor on a lap. He's in 7th at the moment. In the Red Bull, we've got 2. Oh, Stack Convertible's retired. He'll have been on a fast lap, pushing that just a touch too hard, and we can hear you. Rob's confirmed it, so that's fantastic. Brilliant. I was running out of breath here.
I was going to say, all my wonderful insights earlier on, Mark, have just been lost.
As Connor's backed out on his run, a lot of traffic on there out there now.
Yeah.
We've got drivers waiting for their quick laps, a couple of drivers on their fast laps. We're on board with Ryan, unfortunately 2 tenths down, made a mistake in turn 1, as that is essentially just sector 1. He will keep going, he's backed out. He will have time to go again. So we're going to ride on board with some of the drivers further down.
Yeah,
we've got Boothie on the mediums.
Tunnel, they're just going through turn sector 1, sorry, just a 10th down.
Plenty of time to be gained. Boothie has gone very wide there into the pits. Jacob Jones supposedly hasn't come back out yet. If he's going to leave, he'll have to do it quickly. But they'll be saving the tyres for the race. Got quite a few soft tyres. We saw a mixture of strategies, haven't we, through Tier 1 and Tier 2, where we've had a few drivers doing the 1 stop and a few drivers doing the 2 stop. As a Dumas Hornets abandoned his lap, that'll cement him as at least 2nd place.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy when you look at it and say, I think there was about a second difference between the 1 stop and the 2 stop, and Tier 1 and Tier 2 have had safety cars, and obviously we got the Tier 2 safety car right at the end, which we saw Shadow Cobra go from literally top of the tier to out of the points, and that's what's going to be the interesting. When we look, we've got 3 drivers at the moment on the mediums, and the rest on softs, and no Thatch on the mediums and third, so there's a lot of opportunity of different strategies.
Yeah, quite right. Yeah, I tried myself to make the 1 stop work, and then it was working. Starting 15th, and I was battling with a few of the Ferrari drivers for about 5th place by the end, and decided to make a pit stop under the safety car and immediately regretted it.
This was it. I mean, I on Tier 2, I think I did 2 pit stops, and then on the Tier 1 when I was standing in, I started on the hards and did 26 laps on them, and then did the softs, but it was just the lack of pace at the start on the hards, so... And we've seen a couple of people do, was it 20 laps, I think, on the softs and Tier 2 or Tier 1, and then 28 laps in the mediums by the Fox River in Tier 2. So it's possible.
Yeah, the tyre degradation isn't too bad on here, as with Mr. Bob with Ryan, Red Car Rambos puts it into 4th place. He's going to be really happy with that lap. Gained a few tenths, about 2 tenths, and that's what I'm talking about. The 10th or 2 really will jump you up the standings, as we're going to go on board with Night Cask, who's going to come across the line and go 7th. Oh no, 4th, yeah. Sorry, 4th place. Fantastic. Again, gained quite a few tenths on their last run there.
Well, we got Dirty Harry in the Ferrari without missing a nose cone.
Oh, heck,
wing damage
lost
there.
It. Yeah, it has had. That's quite early on, so it may have had a spin out of. It's possible out of turn. Well, we call it turn 2, but technically turn 3. It's quite easy to hit the curb, put the power down, and spin there. That's he's currently in 9th. There's a few drivers further back. Brogan Morris was 4 tenths quicker through the 2nd sector. How's he going to fare? 105.3 from Brogan. Had another good qualifying last time out. So that puts him in 8th. That pushed Harry down into 10th place. There's not many other drivers left on track now. Only Night Cask now in 4th. They look like they've backed out. They have. And there we have it.
Yeah.
Nico Lack takes pole position in the Alpine. Dumas Hornet, 2nd in the championship, takes 2nd by, let's have a look, by 0.029 of a second.
It's close.
A little bit it is. Fatch did the 1 run on the medium tyres, 0.065 further back. Nightcast in 4th Red Car Rambo in 5th. Good lap from him, he'd be happy. That Convertible 6th, unfortunately retired on the second run. Fanning in 7th. Brogan in 8th. Connor in 9th. And Dirty Harry rounds out the top 10. They'll be forced to stay on the tyres they qualified on. Then we've got free choice from Simba and the Williams. Then Tomo 222, Carl Edens, Fragile Tunnel, Boothie, Jacob Jones, our championship leader. Man, Lollipop, Luke Shard, and Joyful Hell brings up the edge of the grid. I think it's going to be tight.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, if we look at it and you say, Thatch is on the medium there, but was literally about, 600ths of a second behind Nico Lack on pole. So already you think from a strategy perspective there, a second covering the top 13 as well. So everyone's in contention with the 3 DRS zones. It's not going to be dull. Let's put it that way. It's going to be far from dull. And it would be interesting to see what's going to happen if we get safety cars. Not sure what's happening with the weather, but hopefully it stays dry.
Yeah, we've not heard much from the drivers yet in the commentary box. Of course, we don't hear what is going to be with the weather. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get something through from the drivers to let us know what's happening. If anyone does know, please give us a quick comment before the race start. That'd be ideal.
I was looking at whilst we wait for the loads in there, looking at some of the names of the curves on the corners. Sorry, and you got the Niki Lauda curve in turn 1, then Remus in turn 3, which is turn 2, Schlossgold turn 4, and then turn 5 is unnamed, Rauch in turn 6, Worth curve in 7, Rintz in 9th, and then the Red Bull Mobile. I'm not American, I promise. In turn 10, but it's going to be interesting, and it'll be interesting to see when this, if we get safety cars, especially for those that are on the soft tyre, typically about 8 to 10 laps. Yeah,
if it comes out too early, you could potentially throw the strategy a little bit. I have heard from Carl. Thank you for that, Carl. It is a dry race. That's a sigh of relief. Start of this season, we had a lot of dry races for Tier 1 and 2, and unfortunately Tier 3 got all of the wet weather conditions, so they'll be really happy and relieved with that. As we look at some of the tyres, Simba in 11th, starting on the hards, and Tomo from 12th down to Lollipop in 18th are on the mediums. Luke Shard and Joyful Hell starting on the soft tyres, hoping to gain a bit of time on the opening few laps.
There's that strategy of one or two stops, and you go soft, medium, then soft again. But it's going to be interesting with Simba on those hards. That's a bold call. If he can keep the pace, keep in a DRS train, she's got a chance ultimately. But then Luke Shard and Joyful Hell at the back.
We'll look to see if they can pick up a few places early on. The medium's taking a couple of laps as Convertible and Carl Edens both disqualified from the session. Now, they shouldn't actually be anywhere near each other, so I don't know what happened there. But I'll just put them onto the grid. Tyres won't be very warmed up. No grid penalties to talk of, so they will all align astern.
Oh, got another predicted pit stop strategy. It's just giving us some options, Mark. That's what it is. AWS thinking, need to just tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, keep them guessing.
Exactly. It's what we like, though. A race where we can't predict, and I think it's certainly going to be that. It's going to be what happens at turn 1 and then turn 2/3.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens once the DRS is enabled. Obviously, a couple of race laps and then it gets enabled. So we'll see what happens. We saw in a few of the races the lead driver really did get a good good start, good clean run. So we'll see what happens with Nico Lack to start. The one to watch will be Jacob Jones, obviously a championship leader down in 16th, currently starting on the medium, see if he can go long, bring himself back into contention late on. But we shall see how we go. Waiting for the game. We've had a few glitches so far, but the lights are now on. 5 lights. And we'll wait for the glitch to go. And we're away. Clean start for most of the drivers there as Dilmasonic gets a fantastic launch into turn one. Clear run into there. Nico Lack takes it in second. Orfach in third. Was defending a little bit from Nightcask. Red Car Rambo is now in fifth. But Dilmasonic, fantastic getaway from him. Now everyone's going to be covering the slipstream.
We've got Connor on the pit straight, seemingly driving into the into the barriers there. It looked like everyone got through turn one okay.
Yeah, a couple of position changes already. People fighting further down. We've got that Convertible and Carl Eden's squabbling. Joyful Hell has picked up crazy amount of room. She obviously started 20th, now up to 13th already. Fantastic opening lap so far for her. As long as she keeps ahead. She's had a little bit of bad luck this season so far, so fingers crossed. We're hoping all the best. Jacob Jones as well starts 16th, already in 12th, 10th now. 10th. Joyful Hell, there must be a little bit of a tangle going on as Carl Eads has dropped down the order, same with Tomo 222, but we're on board at the minute with Thomas Hornet as opening lap with Nico Lack only 4/10 behind. The opening four seem to be dropping Ryan at the moment. The two Ferraris having a little bit of a tussle with Fanning and Dirty Harry there together.
Tobo just diving into the pits, possibly as a result of contact. It was disappointing because he was on those mediums, so he'd have been expecting to run a bit longer.
Yeah, it is. And Joyful Hell, unfortunately, she's back down to 18th. Hopefully, it's only a slight spin. She'll be back on board. We've got Brogan having a look at Fanning, run a little bit wide, but he's now wheel to wheel down there. No DRS yet, but got the slipstream under braking on the inside line. Very good move from Brogan, and Fanning now is under pressure from that Convertible as a result of that. Connor somehow did a 51-second lap time there. Not sure how that worked. Popped up on the screen.
I think he's retired by the looks of things. Tomo's gone onto the hards to try and make some count, and just seen Carl go off, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was having a few technical issues early on, but DRS now enabled. We're on board with Fanning and that Convertible. This is allowing Jacob Jones to really come back as Carl's left the session. His car will go AI. Fingers crossed he can get himself back in. As we've seen, that Convertible died on the inside. There's contact. That Convertible, big spin. Can he keep out the barriers? He does. Wow, good control to keep that out. Nearly got taken out by his teammate for the night. Boothie. Now he's under pressure from Simba. There's contact again with Simba and that Convertible. Hopefully no damage for either of the two. But now we've got a few battles. Now the hard tyres will be starting to come in. Jacob Jones and Fanning now. Mercedes and Ferrari battle for 8th and 9th place.
And I was just going to say Simba defending as we go into turn 4 there. Against that Convertible. Just keeping it around the outside. The hards versus the softs. Been there. Not easy.
It's not. No, the softs will still have plenty of life. They'll be at absolute perfect temperature. Hards do take a little bit longer to come through. I think Joyful Hell fortunately has had another little spin. She's now dropped back down to 19th after that stunning first lap, as now Dark Convertible has taken that place with Simba. Goes extremely wide now, but Simba under pressure now from man in the other McLaren, his teammate up there in 5th, with pressure from Dirty Harry in the Ferrari, which we'll cut to shortly. We've got that standard technical glitch, as now we've seen Simba under pressure. He gets passed by man.
Nico Lack just running a bit wide, was it? No, sorry, it was O'Fatch just running a bit wide.
O'Fatch, yeah, we've just cut to that with Nightcast. Keep that clean on there. That could very easily have ended badly, but Nightcast getting the place back. But O'Fatch is not giving it.
Yeah, Brogan, Red Car Rambo and Dirty Harry all going from 4 into 5.
Yeah, we're going to cut to that. The battle's all over the place now. It's going to give us a bit of difficulty keeping up again.
I'm going to have to put about 3 screens in the living room next time.
Some good battles. Hopefully the timing screens will sort themselves out shortly. But good battling. Hopefully no damage. There's a Red Bull, which I presume will be Connor, that's ghosted there. As Connor has left the session and retired. Few of the drivers there going wide. Broken and Dirty Harry. Red Car keeps it clean. But we've seen sorry, Dirty Harry with the DRS makes that move early on, can even get himself back onto the racing line for the braking zone. Will give Brogan the DRS this time round along this straight. Can he make a move back? As red car will sit and keep close.
Yeah, we had a yellow in sector 3. Didn't get to it. Just Simba into the pits though, from the hard, so possibly likely linked to that. Again, disappointing from 11th on the grid. New nose cone, so yep, something's happened there, but that'll be disappointing going on to the mediums though, especially those hards on the start.
Yeah, it is. He's looking hopefully to go along with that.
Lollipop is into the barrier. Hopefully no damage. Just out on the back, out to turn 4. Shoskold. It's dropped down to 16th.
It has. We'll have a look on board and see if there's any damage. Doesn't look it. Tyres will be a little bit warm though. Needs to be careful next couple of corners. Luckily there is a few places you can cool them down, as we're going to run back to this battle we were watching before with Dirty Harry, Brogan, Morris and Red Car Rambo. Brogan now with the DRS pulls out to the inside into turn 3 as they outbrake each other. This is going to give Red Car Rambo the run. Got to be careful when they come back on, but now Brogan still had the DRS, wasn't far enough ahead, but now we've got Red Car Rambo challenging on the inside of Fanning there. Fanning tries to shut the doors. Brogan's gone wide, there's contact, and this is just allowing Red Car Rambo to squeeze through on the inside, as we've seen the Alfa Romeo and the Ferrari fighting tooth and nail.
Ido Fatch has passed Nico Lack to get into second. I was just watching them come down from turn 3 to 4 and DRS, and Fatch now into second on those mediums.
Yeah, those medium tyres really coming into the road now. I mean, you can make those last a good 20 laps if you're careful, so could go very late into this race. Now, this battle with the guys on the soft tyres, as we're looking back from there, as Dirty Harry took a big lunge there, pushed Red Car Rambo wide. I think he may have given this. Well, look at this. We've got 4 cars outside now. Jacob Jones, there's 2 of them on the grass. Dirty Harry somehow makes the corner ahead with Brogan and then Red Car Rambo. This is allowing Jacob Jones on those medium tyres to really just latch onto the back of them. As now we see Simba, unfortunately, with a 3-second penalty running wide.
I mean, Jacob Jones had almost the prime view of that coming down from turn 1 to turn 2, and as the 3 above were kind of moving to the right of the track, he thought, I'll go on the left.
And he's just made a move into turn 5. That's not normally an overtaking real spot there, but he just made that count. Maybe some errors in there, probably caught Red Car Rambo napping a little bit. And now that moves.
Starting to close in on Dunmas Hornet. Obviously those medium tyres lasting better than those softs just getting to the end of their life.
Dirty Harry, big spin out the last turn, loses his front wing. He's going to have to go a full lap with that. That is going to really, really hurt him. We'll be interested to see what he does from there. As Nightcask has already bit, may have had an incident himself. There's damage on the end of that front wing because they were miles up the road. But all of this battling has actually allowed Jacob Jones fighting now with Brogan Morris to get up into 4th place. Brogan does have the DRS though down into turn 4. He's coming to. Jacob's making him go the long way round. It's going to be battle on the brakes, and who's got the best line? Give each other room. Both really good races. It is. Yep. This is going to keep on going. Brogan still there. Now was on the outside. Now got the inside line. And Jacob gives him room, concedes that place. Very good racing we're seeing here tonight. Again, as Brogan's gone very wide. He may have had a little spin there. Can't find him, unfortunately. Let's have a look, see where he's gone. He's had a big spin.
Yep. Coming out of turn 7 into turn 8. And it's always easy to spin the car if you get on that curb. That inside curb's just a nightmare, and we've got Nightcatch in the pits.
Yeah, possible damage, but bailing on those soft tyres now. Red Car Rambo's going to be under pressure from Fanning.
Fatch is just a quarter of a second behind Dumbest Hornet, now DRS out at turn 3.
Yeah, we'll cut to that shortly as Red Car Rambo challenging Jacob Jones. He's going to have the DRS yet again from 3 into 4. We've found this is we're going to ride on board with him. He's going into the inside. He's going to see what he can do on the brakes. Takes the inside line. And we're going to cut, and he's already made the move. Stick. Yep. Very good move. Jacob didn't fight that and didn't fancy coming back. So this is a really, really good battle.
And you start to look at some of those who are on the mediums now. So Jacob Jones, Boothie, Mann, Fragile Turn, and some of them won't have pitted yet. And you're already starting to see that strategy call between the mediums and the softs. Dumbest Hornet's still out there now on 9-lap, 10-lap old softs.
Yeah,
probably
we know they can. Yeah, they can go quite a few laps. They could potentially go up to 15 laps. Possibly easier later in the races. We're still on board this battle. We can't leave it. As now Jacob Jones has made the move into turn 1 with the DRS open. Runs a little wide. That's now getting... Redcar Rambo's got the run back. But Jacob has... don't look like any driver's got the DRS open along this straight. And that's given Jacob the place back.
The two Haas boys, Boothie and Da Convertible, only half a second between each other, with Da Convertible on the soft. So again, possibly looking at a bit of maybe Boothie letting Da Convertible through.
Yeah,
championship wise.
Yeah, of course. The top 3. We're going to ride on board. We've kind of cut away from them. We're watching the battles further down the top 10, but Dumbest Hornet still in the lead. He is pitting now. He's getting rid of those early. Fatch will take over the lead on those medium tyres with Nico Lack right behind. Still in the DRS. As Fanning also pits from 6th place. And the Ferrari, the now lead Ferrari. But Dirty Harry we saw him have that spin out the last turn, and he's now gone on the hard tyres. Potentially hoping to make those last till the end. Could potentially do that, I think. They could do that.
And exactly. I mean, on the Tier 1, I used the hard tyres for about 26 laps. They weren't the quickest, though. That's the problem.
Yes, it's that balancing act, isn't it, between outright pace.
Oh, Dumbest Hornet just getting past Boothie. Down into turn 4.
It was. We were just cutting on board to Redcar Rambo again, still battling with Jacob Jones. Saw the gap go down to less than a tenth. It was making a move, it just couldn't make it stick. This is where his tyres are going to be going off. Dumbest Hornet comes back out in 5th. He's on medium tyres. They are going to be super fast.
Tell you what, it's interesting watching. So we've got Nico Lack and Redcar Rambo still. Redcar pop drives into the pit lane to get rid of those softs, but Nico Lack in 2nd, still on those softs. He's got a 12-second gap to Jacob Jones.
So it does. So it's going to be interesting to watch that gap with those two now. Obviously, we've got Nico obviously right under the rear wing of O'Fatch, 1st and 2nd place. It's going to be interesting to see. The undercut is quite powerful here, I found, and but maybe Nico looking like he's going to try and get on the one-stop strategy, and hopefully no safety cars to speak of. I've said that, commentator's curse.
No, we never know. This is the thing, though, you're right, the undercut is that powerful. I mean, if we look at the difference now between O'Fatch and Dumbest Hornet, we're talking 16, 17 seconds, and it's less than a pit stop. So, it's again, but then different strategy slightly, but Nico Lack, the longer he goes on those soft tyres, the more time he's losing. He could possibly come out behind... probably not behind Fanning, but the longer he goes, he could well.
Yeah, probably behind Mann with that gap there in 6th. But it's one of those that we will have fresher tyres towards the end and be able to push more instead of doing more of a tyre-saving, tyre-conservative race.
I wonder if Nico Lack's going long, though, Mark. Just looking at it, going 12 laps on those softs, if he did maybe 2 or 3 laps in qualifying, that's 15 laps. Do a one-stopper, mediums. Will Dumbest Hornet be able to get to the end? Possibly.
The mediums seem to do about 20 laps as Carl's lost connection again. Let's hope he gets back in again. Yeah. Really suffering tonight, unfortunately. He has made his way into the top 10 though, as Carl. As when Redcar came out, he's come back out into 9th on those fresh, right behind Fanning as the battle resumes. And he goes to have a quick look. He hasn't yet.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, Mark.
It is. I think that's pretty much what we're calling Tier 3 this season.
Yep.
Been a lot of fantastic races from them all.
Tell you what, it's going to be interesting to see. They're pretty much on the back end, the rear wing of Man, and then obviously Fragile Tunnel is just up from them as well. And they got another 3-second penalty there. Starting to see penalties creeping in now with track limits.
Yeah, we are. It's very easy to run just that touch wide, and obviously strict corner cutting is what we look at as Fragile Tunnel's now pitted.
And
off
Man
those
and
medium tyres.
Fanning's in front of Man into turn one.
Now, what's going to happen here between the McLaren boys? It's there. Man's done the right thing. He's moved out the way for his teammate. Knows he's just taken a pit stop. That's fantastic teamwork. Love to see that.
Definitely.
From the guys, not just out for themselves, but looking forward as a team. Love to see that. Love to see it.
And that's the key thing. And it's, yes, there's a drivers' championship, but we've got the constructors' championship. And I remember in Monza with Ghetto Biggie and myself in Tier 2, and using a bit of tactics, shall we say, to help each other. So it's good to see that. Nikolak's still out on those softs.
He is. Jacob Jones has now got a 3-second time penalty for those track limits, but Nikolak is dropping back. He's outside of DRS.
Yes.
We did ride on board earlier with Red Caravan, but got to give a mention. We like to, mention. We know Carl's running Sebastian Vettel inspired helmet design in the Aston Martin. I myself running a Lewis Hamilton inspired for my Mercedes car and Red Caravan, but running Ayrton Senna inspired helmet design tonight. Debuted debuted it last week, as now we've just got on board right at the right time. He's got the DRS open going into turn 3. I'll come back. Actually, that is a lovely helmet design. Seeing the colour stripes on it, I really like that one. That's fantastic. It really makes the move stick, and he's actually pulled out a little bit of a gap to stop Fanning getting the DRS and cutting straight back on him. So a really good move.
Yeah, the traction out of that turn 2, turn 3, whatever you want to call it, is key. If you can get that traction, even if the car behind's got DRS and you've got enough ERS, you can stay in front there. But
quite right. As you were talking about the undercut strategy working, obviously Jacob Jones is on 14 lap old mediums. Dumas Hornet has actually just taken him for third place, and now only 14 seconds off. Well, 14 and a half seconds off the lead. Those two not pitted yet. So this is actually playing into Dumas Hornet's hands. Now, pitting early could have got you onto and cement you onto the 2-stoppers. Jacob Jones has not given this up yet. He's going to have another go. He's going to have the DRS from 3 into 4. Is he going to have a look? He's a bit too far back this time. Thinks better of it, but Dumas Hornet goes very wide, tries to keep it off the grass, which he does. Will Jacob go to having a look? They are on different strategies.
Yeah.
There's Red Car now again battling with Fanning. This could go on quite a long time.
It's those kind of key battles that you can see there. The sort of Dumas Hornet and Jacob Jones, and Dumas Hornet is going to want to keep the momentum that he's got going to catch Nikolak. And again, still not pitting.
No, they're not at all.
Wonder if he's thinking mid-race safety car, because we're near enough at half distance.
Yeah, already. Doesn't have fly by. And when you're having fun, we've seen a few pit stops now further down the order. Boothie has pitted onto the soft tyres, so that's going to be a 2-stop strategy for Boothie. He's now down in 11th. Unfortunately, we're having the glitches with the timing screen, so we can't exactly see where they all are in relation to each other. But there's Brogan and Nykask. Actually, we're going to cut down there. They're on similar strategies, very, very close to each other, with Boothie obviously just coming out of the pits on those softs, less than a second behind as well. So this is going to be an interesting 3. We're back with that convertible, Brogan, Nykask and Boothie at the outer regions of the top 10.
And they are catching, man. And I was kind of watching the Boothie battle just from the end of the last lap. Wow.
Yeah, Brogan gets very twitchy and concedes the place to Nykask as he nearly hits the back of that convertible.
Nikolak pitting to get rid of those softs.
Yeah, see how he puts on the medium tyres. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how far O'Fatch can go on those mediums, so they can do, 28, 26, 27, 28 laps.
Yeah, so it's going to be see how far they go. We've got Carlo, unfortunately, suffering more. He's now dropped into 13th. Keep it going, mate. Hopefully he'll get back in. We know he's had a good season. He's a good driver.
Definitely. So the interesting thing looking at it, so Nicola probably lost about 18 seconds in the pit stop to Fatch. So Fatch has got 12 and a half second lead on Dumbest Hornet. It's coming down though, probably by about half a second a lap. But it's going to be interesting because those soft tyres for 5 or 6, 7 laps mark could easily, Fatch could but so you got to pass as well.
You do, and it's nice to see that we are seeing the different strategies play out. Some drivers there, we've seen Brogan go back underneath Night Cask with the DRS. There's another interesting battle now.
Dirty Harry and Tomo having a little battle on those hards. Tomo just passed them into turn 2/3. Oh, and Dirty Harry just got a penalty, ran a bit wide.
I think Brogan just tapped the back of Convertible there. This is great because they've just caught up with Man. Man he's on the 17 lap old medium tyres. He's might have had a moment somewhere because they weren't that close a few laps back. So now that Convertible has passed Man. His tyres 10 laps fresher, of course.
Fanning just ran wide out of turn 1 and Red Cars got him on the run up to 2 and 3.
Yeah, we've just seen a few drivers as well there go very wide. Man was one of them. That's allowed the train of drivers to go through, including Booth, who caught right up to the back as Nightcask has partly gone defensive, partly gone, and Brogan spun. Ooh. Oh, he's kept it though. Luckily he kept it out the wall. Good recovery, good save from Brogan. I'm actually interested to see, I know Brogan's one of our younger drivers on the grid. I know we've got a variety of ages as well. I'm actually quite curious to see who some of our youngest drivers are, to be honest. I know Brogan's mid-teens.
Yeah.
I think he is starting college, and I'm sure we've got a few other drivers who are quite young as well, a few late teens. But it shows the good quality that we've got.
This is it, and actually if you look at it, I'm 35, so we'll have a variety of age ranges and great quickness throughout every age range.
We've just seen Boothie's gone and hit the wall out of turn 1. He was battling with Nightcask. Don't know if he's still got his front wing or not, as he's unfortunately really overheated those tyres. Yep. He wants to take that steady and get back on the race. He has now. Lost a lot of time there as Man's finally pitted off those medium tyres onto the soft, so he's going to be on a charge now.
That Convertible and Night Cash into out turn 3.
Yeah, we're now on board with that. That Convertible actually got the DRS, was just behind, as now takes. There's a little bit of, I think, glitching going on and lags, but he gets the place back from Night Cask. Lost about a second to the Fanning battle up ahead with Fanning and Red Carambo. They're still only half a second between them. Dumbest Hornet's got that gap down. 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds. Interesting again. So Jacob Jones, 15 seconds behind O'Fatch, 18-second pit stop. That'll take him to just probably behind, just in front of the Dak Convertible Night Cash Brogan Morris battle. So that is critical for him that he gets out of the pits in front of that.
Yeah, I think I was finding myself the tyres were starting to go off after about 20 odd laps. So we're going to be interested to see. We're going to actually cut across to O'Fatch as he's finishing sector 2.
Oh, red cars around into here, turn 3. Fanning's passed.
Oh, if he can get that back on real quickly.
Yep.
As now the leader takes the opportunity and pits. Now he's been looking at that gap of Dumbest Hornet drop and drop. So now it's going to be interesting to see if Jacob Jones follows suit. Yep. Is he going to follow? He does. So that's it. Medium tyres, 20 laps. They've hit the cliff.
Oh, Night Cash, Dak Convertible Night Cash just tapped into the side of Dak Convertible in turn 6. And then slightly collided a bit with Brogan Morris, but
I think there's a safety car. Safety car. Lush Chard has unfortunately gone round. This, it's going to be interesting. So we've seen Brogan's dived into the pits now. Red car has also gone in. Dak Convertible. It's probably going to hurt people like Jacob Jones. Well, actually on the soft tyres, this will actually help them a little bit.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So Nico Lack, 3 laps ago into the pits for the mediums. Dumbest Hornet, 10 laps on the mediums. You've got to say 14 laps to go, Mark. A bit far for the softs.
Softs, I think, will be fine. Mediums, it's Dumas Hornet with the 10 laps, Fanning with the 10 laps. I mean, these are going to help them, but you're not going to lose as much time behind, obviously, a safety car pit stop. So we're on board now with Dumas Hornet and see if he's going to dive in. He does. He could go to another set of soft tyres. Should have a new set left. Could come out around, possibly in third behind, because with Jacob Jones, unfortunately, being 30 seconds back from Thatch.
Yeah.
We're going to look and see who else, as Nico stays out.
Nico
as you would.
Stays out,
yeah.
Curious to see also if Fanning stays out as well on those 10 laps, and I think he is staying out. No, he's jumping in.
Look. Yep, no, he's gone as well. So there's quite a gap to Redcar Rambo, who did take that opportunity to pit straight away after a spin as well. So actually, be quite relieved it came out a good time for him. His obviously tyres be a little bit warm and ready to dive in.
Lollipo, they're just getting another penalty, but interesting that they didn't jump into the pits either. 6 lap hards. Would have been interesting to see that. But again, what we're going to have, Mark, and this is the great part with 14 laps left, is we've got the leader on 4 lap mediums. We've got then soft runner, medium soft. It's literally like it's on the edge.
It is. This could go anywhere. It's the heat. It's how well you get the medium tyres to warm up and get that instantaneous grip. Nico might be a bit of an advantage with them being a few laps old, keep the heat in them than the new guys. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens from now on. We could kind of take a break while we're under the safety car for a lap or so, let the rest of the drivers catch up. Quite a few, obviously, people watching, which is great to have you watching us tonight. And if you've got any comments, any questions to fire across to us, that'd be great to leave a comment. Again, please like and share and get our name out there as well for MRC. We love to have new drivers joining us. There's always space available, reserve spots available as well. And it's a great league to be a part of. And please drop us a comment.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is my first season. And this is the thing, right? I had played F1 games since Formula 1 in 1996 on the PlayStation 1.
96, 97 the games, weren't they?
Yeah, and never did online league racing, never even did online multiplayer. I always was one of these kinds, and for those who Mark and I were chatting just before the race, I would be the type of person who sits there and commentates just whilst I'm sitting on my own, the other half upstairs probably cursing me. But commentating whilst I'm racing, and it's a great camaraderie, it's great racing. There's all of those capabilities are there though, and everybody brings their own uniqueness into the league as well, which is just superb. It really is.
Yeah, quite right, and it's one of the better. No, I can't say it's one of the better leagues out there. That's not right. So I can't say that. But we've got a few penalties we're going to look at now. I'm going to stop myself before I get myself in trouble. So apologies if I do offend anybody. But it's a very friendly league. Good fun, good laugh. We've got Tomo 2-2 with a drive-through. But going down the penalties, Jacob Jones has got 8 seconds. So there may have been a little bit of contact somewhere under the safety car to get that penalty. Also, Thatch Thomas on it with nothing. A couple of drivers there with 3 seconds. Dirty Harry now with 12 seconds of penalties. And Carl Edens with 15. Unfortunately, as we say, he's been in and out of the race due to connection issues. But the safety car's actually going to help him massively. And hopefully the connection sorted itself out. He's on the soft tyres. Can really have a push. We've got at least one more lap under the safety car. Possibly could be the last lap. As with Nico Lack's out. Nico Lack is out. He has crashed from under the safety car in the last corner.
Did he just get a little bit wide? I was looking down the grid at the time.
We were on board, and I think he was warming his tyres up and just literally put the throttle down a bit too much, got them spinning, and has retired now from the race, from the lead of the race. He is going to be cursing.
He's going to be gutted.
He is, as drivers backing up themselves a little bit further down the order. Not sure what's going on there. So Simba's had an issue and connected with Radcar Rambo.
Nico Lack's just put in the Discord chat. He's just literally put what is that? So I remember, was it Brazil, I think, where Alex in Tier 2 in the McLaren, it just spun him out of the Senna S's. I wonder if it's something like that. But yeah, but that's gutting, because again, if you think it was at the front of the race, a good strategy that was there.
It was, yeah. He was really having a fantastic race. As we've got one of the comments in, it's a George Russell moment. In last year, it is.
Yep.
Just got a little bit on.
I'll say the other thing, Mark. Whilst Nico's just put the clap hands in the race stewards panel, it's the first post in the stewards panel. We've had another penalty for Jacob Jones and Dummest Hornet in the 5-second penalty.
Yeah, stewards will be looking at that afterwards. Yep. Hopefully no damage, but now we've got all facts. The safety cars coming in, and he's just backing them all up, see when he's going to go, and he's leading them out of the last turn. Doesn't want to give anybody, and now he goes, didn't want to give anybody a chance to get in his slipstream, and now he's gone. We've got to go to drivers. We're going to go Dummest Hornet and Jacob Jones. Jacob Jones having a look into turn 1. He's unfortunately cut the corner a little bit, but he's made that move. He has got a 3-second time penalty to go with it.
Yep.
But now those soft tyres.
On the run down to turn 1 and turn 2, all getting on about each other.
Yeah, we've got Fanning and Dummest Hornet having a little scrap. That convertible red car Rambo as well, having a fight with each other. I'm sure we saw someone pitting as Simba has gone in and has DNF'd, unfortunately. He's riding on board with Fanning, looking back at Dummest Hornet, made that move for the podium spot. So we've got an Alpine moving out the way. That'll probably be Tomo there, letting the leaders go through. Good awareness.
Again, yeah, definitely. And interesting again, like top 2 now on the softs, next 3 on mediums, and then Red Car and Brogan on the softs. So again, it's going to be interesting to see. We've got, it's almost that train again of cars.
It is, and those soft tyres only got 10 laps left to go, well within their tyre life. I think it's going to be interesting. The stewards with like Jacob Jones there, 16 seconds, had a few penalties under the safety car, so they'll be reviewed afterwards. Of course, stewards can look at that and potentially remove them from the race time as Red Car Rambo and
Dummest Hornet and Fanning. Oh,
so we cut away from that. We're going to cut back to it. We have Dummest Hornet makes the move, but that's going to
Car. Oh, Brogan was just almost nudging Red Car along there, almost going, get out of my way. Not deliberately though.
No, of course, and we've cut to that. We're going back to the battles we had before with Red Car right in the mix yet again, and Fanning as well. Go on, you've seen something I didn't.
I was going to say Carl and Buffet going into turn 4 there, just a little bit sideways was Carl's car there.
Oh, unfortunately, he's had that connection again. He will be back. He will be back soon. As we're riding on board with Fanning now in the dirty, DRS back enabled. There's a few drivers running wide in the last turn. With the 2 up front pulling away from these guys in the medium tyres.
Tomo going a bit slow.
Yeah, possibly letting if he's going in the pits, There's a Boothie and Carl still fighting it out. As we've seen a few drivers get a few more penalties. We're going to go and look at the penalties now. A few of the drivers now on 8.
Brogan just passed Red Car into turn 3, turn 2, turn 3.
Yeah, and but Brogan did it late, so he actually still got the DRS to keep him ahead of Red Car. There we are, Carl's back. Let's have him back. He's in the middle of a battle as well, so that need him back.
Oh, and Boothie ran just a bit wide in turn 4 there.
Yeah,
it's that strategy though. It's that strategy though, Mark, of the DRS zones. If you pass on the pit straight, you're vulnerable then on the run up to turn 3. If you then pass on turn 3, you're then a little bit vulnerable going into turn 4. So it's all a bit about strategy as well.
Yeah, do you make the move into turn 3 or do you hold back, brake early, get the run out of turn 3, use a bit of the airs and then try to get it down there and try to get ahead in the rest of the lap? You're right, and it's as we now see Carl's going for a move on man into turn 1. We're talking about the strategy, but Carl makes the move into turn 1. He's actually got the DRS again because he passed late into the braking. There's actually quite a battle now. Boothie's having a go at man as well. Boothie's got a lot of overspeed. Will he actually have a go at Carl. He doesn't. Carl, a little bit of a nudge, but that should be okay.
Yep.
But now they're both going to have the DRS as we've got Boothie and Mann side by side behind Carl. He's going to be looking in his mirrors thinking, oh, please be so far ahead, and he is. But Boothie makes that move on. Man, this is fantastic racing.
Oh, it is. And Ulfach now just about 8 tenths in front of Jacob Jones. Obviously, Jacob's got a lot of penalties there, but still closing up now.
Yeah, he's still going to be pushing on, knowing that I'm sure the stewards will look at some of them later on. And
Dak Invertible and Brogan Morris. Dak Invertible, I think, just ran wide out of the final corner. That'll leave him a bit vulnerable in the run up to 2 and 3.
He will. We're going to stick on board with Jacob Jones challenging for the lead. He's got the DRS wide open in the slipstream. Fat doesn't necessarily defend, makes him go for the inside line. Under brakes as he stopped the counting time. He has. Let's have a look at the traction, because now Fatch has the DRS on the run down to turn 4.
Brogan past Dak Invertible into turn 3 there, turn 2-3. I think we're just going to have to call it the turn 2-3.
Yeah, it seems to be we're just going to keep going around there as
Exactly.
Jacob Jones keeps the lead into turn 4, now through turn 5 / I think it's turn 5 now, and so he's going to be pushing to get to break that DRS. Difficult to do round here.
I'll tell you the interesting thing, and just looking at the middle battle, right? Night Cash in 8th place, no penalties on the medium tyre, and red car, Dak Invertible, Brogus, Fanning, Dumbstorn, all penalties in front, and some of them might be removed from the stewards, but again, could be a good haul of points on there for Night Cash in the Alpha Tower.
Yeah, one of their first races as well. I think they may have reserved a little bit as we're on board with Jacob Jones going defensive up onto run to turn 3. Goes very defensive on the inside, making Fatch go the long way round. Fatch will still have the... No, he actually got ahead at one point. Jacob's actually got the DRS on the run down to 4.
Brogan Morris passed Fanning into turn 2-3 there. Fanning ran a little bit wide into turn 1. That gave Brogan the toe and passed him. And now it's an Alpha 3-4, which is great news for them.
It is, yeah. That's going to have a big play on the standings as well.
Yeah. They're 13 points ahead of Mercedes in the constructors, and at the moment we've got one Merc in the race.
We have, and this is really going to help them pull away in that championship battle. As Carl's left again, he is in the points at the moment, so he's dying to be desperate to get back in and secure these points. He's having a fantastic race, this Carl. Unfortunately, just the connection letting him down, but that should hopefully he'll get back.
Again, if we look at, you can just looking at the Constructors' Championship, Williams were on 58 points, McLaren were on 51 before this race, and we've got looks like a good haul of points coming for Williams. The two McLaren boys 7th and 11th.
Yes, we've just had one of the tyre performance pop up there, which we've not seen before. So one of the updates on the game. So we're looking at the rear tyres, both very equal, I would say, between Fatch and Jacob Jones. Obviously, their tyres both 9 laps old. We're going to have to cut down. Dumas Horn is now 3 second time penalty and loses the back end. This is going to allow a lot of people past, but he gets it pointing in the right direction. Hopefully not too much wheel spin so he can keep it going.
Oh, it's that turn 7 again, Mark. It's called the Worth curve. I think we'll all be calling it the Worthless curve.
The worst one it is. It's catching a lot of drivers out tonight. If you just kiss it a little bit, that leaves you now, and now it's going to be very vulnerable.
Yep.
For red car Rambos. We've had another spinner. That was Dak Convertible in the Haas and spun at turn 1. That'll have probably scared the life out of those guys going through there at the pace to go through. But now we've got red car Rambo is going to go on the outside. Can't quite make a stick to try and get the switch back, and the drive on those softs. Those might start going off now. There's only 3 laps left already.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm just looking at the Fatch and Jacob, 0.3 of a second between
Rambo's
them.
Rambo's gone for the inside. A little bit of contact. It was a late move. Dumas Horn, it did turn in and wheel-to-wheel contact, so at least there'll be no damage. But
just
red car
watch
gets that place.
Night Cash. Oh, and Dak Invertible. Oh, so turn 4, Night Cash went up the inside. Really good clean racing, but then coming into turn 6, Dak Invertible got back. Oh, he's just got a 3-second time penalty running wide at turn 7 there.
And Dumas Hornet, Redcar Rambo, Dumas Hornet's got him back yet again. This is going to give Redcar, though, the DRS down the first straight. His air's light flashing, using quite a bit in this battle. Is he going to make a move into turn 1? Thinks better of it. Keeps the going, and the DRS is flashing
Jacob,
yet again.
Jacob just locked a wheel slightly into turn 2-3 there. He had the DRS open on O'Fatch, so whilst he might have some penalties, he's going for it.
He's going for the inside, the big move on the inside. One of the favourite moves. He can use that curve. He's pushed him very wide. Luckily, no spins. Just wheel to wheel. Just not much he could really, unfortunately, do there.
Dak Invertible and Night Cash coming down into turn 4. Oh, and they're both.
Night Cash very wide. Keeps it straight line though.
Yeah, I think Dak Invertible had run, or Night Cash had run slightly wide into turn 3, and that then gave the run.
And then unfortunately goes wide again. A lot of standout performances so far. Redcar Rambo still on the back of Dumas Hornet. This battle's been going on. Soft tyres might start going off about now. The medium still got plenty of life still in them, as we saw on Jacob Jones and O'Fatch when the AWS tyre performance popped up. We've got O'Fatch with the DRS on the outside, going the long way around. Doesn't make it sick. Right.
It's almost for... Yeah, sorry, Mark. It's almost
I was going to say, right under it. It is. Yeah. That's one of our newest drivers as well. Hasn't got a point to prove. Very quick racer. Both of these guys, very quick racers. And they're still going outside of turn 4 into turn 5 and makes the move. Jacob backs out of that one. There's not really where he can go around the backside. He's got a 3-second penalty, Jacob, for going wide. They both go wide there, and Jacob's gone very wide through that. But this is actually, this battle, I'm going to keep an eye on Brogan Morris there in third. This is a stunning race from him. And again, only one more lap left to go, but he's only 3 and a bit seconds off the back of these guys.
Yeah,
and less penalties.
Yeah, just looking at the battle between Dak Convertible and Carl. Dak Convertible's just got back in front there. Whether Carl managed to get back in or not. Lots of penalties. Lots of penalties in that top 10.
There's Jacob now over a second back. Doesn't get the DRS. May have had a moment into turn 1. Not sure about that. But the closest battle on track is Dumas Hornet and Redcar Rambo. Still within 3/10. So Redcar really gets a good drive out. He's now got the DRS wide open, pulls into the slipstream. Further down, Dak was going to make him go the long way around. Yes. Has he got the overspeed? And he does.
Yes,
he's got the overspeed. Runs very deep. Runs wide to contact as well, but luckily keeps it in the straight line. That can easily send you spinning.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any malice in that one. It was just a little bit running wide and just the battling they've got going on. But we're going to have to cut to the front as coming through the last turn. Fatch over a second ahead will take the checkered flag.
Brilliant race.
What a fantastic race. Jacob Jones in second. His penalties make it looked after the race. So another standout driver is Brogan Morris. Gets promoted. It was third on the road. Fanning after that. Dumas Hornet and Redcar Rambo as well.
Yeah. And Jacob doing a little spin at turn 1 after the race is finished.
And going further down, we've got... might take a little while for penalties to sort themselves out. Yeah. We've got Mann in 8th, Boothie in 9th, Dak Convertible 10th, Carl in 11th, Fragile Tunnel in 12th. Carl's unfortunately just had a bit of connection issues tonight. Had a really good race when he was on board though. You can be proud of that. Fragile Tunnel, Dirty Harry, Lollipop, Connor and Joyful Hell finishes as well. I think should be happy to finish. Did really well. Few retirees, Tomo, Simba, Nico Lack from the lead under the safety car and Luke Shard as well.
Yeah, wow. I mean, again, 3 races where it's been action-packed from start to finish, Mark. Literally from getting off the grid to that checkered flag.
It's been absolutely incredible. Full credit to all the drivers. Little bit of contact between a few drivers. Luckily, no damage. It does happen. We all make mistakes, so hopefully the drivers, when they see this, it's not malice. It's no intent. But and there we have it. Thatch takes Brogan takes second spot on the road. We'll have to see how all the results and penalties play themselves out afterwards. But fantastic racing up and down.
Absolutely fantastic. When you look at, like Jacob there coming up from 16th to 7th, but obviously the final of the race, and then you've got Man again from 17th, Boothie from 15th. Really, it's one of those tracks, Mark, where anything can happen, and if you clean racing in terms of no time penalties, you can be quite up the order, even if you might not be the quickest. But some stunning races out there, stunning racers out there tonight. There
was. It's been a pleasure. I hope you all have enjoyed it. Thank you, Gav. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Hopefully join us again.
Definitely. Will do. Thank you very much, all.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us tonight. That's us for this week. Next week, we go to round 8 and we head to home of the British Grand Prix, Silverstone. So I hope you can all join us. We look forward to seeing you there. Good night, everybody.